survive quarantine when one of your partners is an introvert and the other is an extrovert.
Yes.
Hey, I'm Cece Cheney.
And I'm Jason Cheney.
And we're a husband and wife team dedicated to helping you reclaim your physical and financial health. And like you, we have stay-at-home orders that require us to be all up in each other's space. And I know that a lot of people are struggling with this, especially if y'all have interesting dynamics like we do, where I am totally content and happy, chilling, and this guy is, extroverted and struggling a little bit. So Jason, what would you say has been your biggest struggle since we've been in this whole quarantine thing anyways?
For me, even though we're in a country where I don't speak Spanish fluent, but I miss talking to people. Just, hey, how you doing? Stopping. Like, I would just go catch a bus and walk in a neighborhood and just start talking to people. Then all of a sudden, CC will write me, hey, where you doing? Hey, somebody's cooking lunch for me. I'm over there, I was eating. Like, that's who I am at my core. Like, I don't stay at home.
Yeah, which is like flabbergasting for me because I ain't trying to walk up to a stranger and create a conversation. Like, that's not happening. Like, that is not me. So imagine now he can't go and do that. Who the heck is he gonna talk to all day?
Yeah, not her.
Me, that's right? So like, I think it's important that you're mentioning that because that is a very difficult thing, especially for people who are really extroverted. Now, I'm an introvert, and it has not been all, peaches and cream for me either. Not that I need to be on top of people all day long, but I do like going places from time to time.
It was interesting. Like the other day, she was like, "Man, let's go somewhere. Can we get out? Can I leave today?" And I was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Because I didn't think like this would affect an introvert. To be honest with you, I thought as an introvert, like it's the prime of your life. Like, oh, no one can leave the house, and I didn't think an introvert would be getting shell shocked, or what's that word when you're stuck at home a long time? And I can't remember.
I don't know the word that you're looking for.
I lost it.
I can't think of it. Basically, I can't think of it. I don't know. What's the word? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
what's the word that we're trying to figure out?
I keep thinking shelter in place, and I'm like, that's a military.
Yeah, that's not it. But that is an interesting point because I might not need to be around people all of the time, but I did like a huge part of our regular routine before all this happened was just going out to the park every morning. And yeah, there would be a whole crap ton of people, but we would all be exercising and there's an energy. And I miss that. I'm still working out. I'm working out at home, but I do miss that energy of lots of people who are really health conscious, like really, out there. So I miss every once in a while getting out there. I miss the sunlight. I mean, I still go out, just for a little bit of vitamin D, but that is tough. So, okay, Jason, you're an extrovert, I'm an introvert. What tips would you give to other people who are in homes like this?
For me, I'm gonna be honest, I can only talk from an extrovert's point of view. I don't want to say anything for an introvert. But for me as an extrovert now, like yesterday, I just started reading books. I got back into reading more books, and I was like, I have to change my energy because I'm someone who feeds off energy of everyone. Like I love being around groups of people, and we're in a place where it's not possible. I know my energy will dump real low. So like yesterday, I felt myself getting depressed. And I was like, hey, I got to get back into my books, start doing more professional development. Why am I feeling this way? What are the things that's going through? And then remember I told you the other day, like I started realizing like, what are the problems that I'm facing right now? And what old problems is it making me, that is reminding me of? Because it's like, here's the reality. I've never been in a quarantine before.
Right.
I have been in situations that are resemblance to this. And it's bringing back certain emotions. So like when I was waiting in line at the store and I saw some people looking through the window, and I had a flashback of being in Iraq, where we had to wait in line and you're looking through the window like, man, can I get through before bombs start coming? And I was happy I recognized that, and then I start changing my thinking around it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm so grateful that I can at least wait here in line and get food when there's people in other places, they don't even know if they can get food or anything for their families.
Yeah. So I think what I love about what you're sharing is this idea of managing your energy, right? Like we can't control what's going on in the world right now. We don't know when we're getting out of our houses. We don't know when life can come back to some semblance of normal, but there are things that we have control over, and that is that sort of a thing. Like, I'm going to take control of my energy. I'm going to dive into something that makes me feel good. I'm going to dive into things that are important. I think that's really good.
And so as an introvert, what do you do for an introvert?
So there's a couple of things that I think are important. I also am really digging books, right? Like, I'm digging books, and I'm digging music, and I am digging, all of those normal things that I would typically be doing, right? And carving out space to read and hang out and be by myself, because that's important for me too. As a couple, though, I think it's important that you create space so that the person's needs can be met, right? So Jason knows that I'm crazy introverted, and I need some me time. So if I go in the room and I've got a book, or I'm, watching an episode of a show and I'm having a introvert moment, Jason gives me the space to do that. This dude's freaking out and he needs to talk to somebody. I have to give him the space to be able to do that, because it's an important way that you manage your energy. You get that from other people. So making sure, if you are in a relationship or in a household where you have these dynamics, you really want to make sure that you're giving each other the space to get what you need. So that is compromise, right? Like, I don't want to sit around and talk for like 20 hours, but I will sit with Jason and have some conversations and see how he's doing and check in with him, because I know how important that is for him. And, as somebody who loves him, that's my responsibility. And he does the same thing for me. And like, okay, you're watching something, or you're reading a book, or you're whatever. Well, I'm going to just hang out here and give you that space. Yeah, and I think that's a really important
thing. Like, I know once she's watching Billions, if I see her on her phone with headphones, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Or are you watching something? Yeah, I'm watching Billions. So I know she's in introvert mode. Or if she said, hey, I'm reading a book. Okay, have fun. I'll go sit by the door, watch people walk by.
And we also schedule time where we're watching things together, right? Or I might be reading in one room and he's reading in another room. We're not quite in the same space, but we're giving each other space to do the things that we need to do. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And so, like, we know this is not normal for the average couple. We've actually been fortunate enough to for the last 5 years, been stuck in the house, working together, seeing each other 24/7.
Yeah, good point.
And these times actually it tests your relationship, but it tests your love.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the annoyances we have with each other that bring us closer together. Like, I'm a big person, like, I hate a dirty kitchen. I hate dirt dishes in there, but I hate also putting dishes up. So these are times, like, I see dishes in there, I just go in there and clean them. See her walking in behind me sometimes and see them and just pick them up. And that's the love that comes through when you start being in tight spaces together. You learn how to love one another differently. Like, I know if I see her put something somewhere, she's going to go look for this. Let me just put it up so I know where it is. And those little things. There's ways to get around working as a relationship, because we're now in a time where most people have never dealt with this type of thing in their relationship. And so if you're someone who's actually, also have nothing to do with that, if you're someone who's looking right now for an opportunity to work from home, just feel free to shoot us a message, and we'll be grateful to share some information with you about what we do. And anything else, CC?
Hey, whether you want to do it by yourself or you want to do it with your partner, Jason and I work together, you don't have to if that's not going to work with you. But if you want some more information, feel free to reach out to us.
Ciao.
Ciao.